I couldn't see if it was the same one.
So, first fly past. We shall watch for them returning. They'll be turning round to come back towards us. And then I expect to see them do a complete 360-degree turn in front of us. Interesting to compare the size of these two aircraft. The Hunter really looks quite small alongside the 111-foot wingspan of the Vulcan. The Vulcan is about the same size as an Airbus A320 airliner in wingspan and length. They're swapped over. And of course, a completely different shape. And which would you rather see, this or an Airbus A320? Wonderful as that is. So Chris Heames, I assume it is he flying the Hunter, keeping in beautiful formation there on Vulcan's wingtip. This is an aircraft in the colours of 2 Squadron, that Hunter. So these are 2 aircraft that both entered RAF service in mid-1950s and left in the early 1990s. Exact contemporary aircraft. And it's a bittersweet day, really, because here we are seeing this wonderful formation that you really absolutely could not see anywhere else. And yet, this will be the last time you will see a Vulcan flying at Weston Super Mare. Let's hope that the Hunters will go on, and we shall continue to see them for many years. I'll talk a little in a moment about why Vulcan won't be with us after this year. But I believe this is the final pass of the 2 aircraft together. I expect to see them fly by in front of us, and then Chris Heames in the Hunter will slowly climb out of formation with the Vulcan. So if you have your cameras at the ready, I suspect, I don't know for sure, but I suspect that this will be the final pass of the 2 of them together. And then Vulcan will go into her own normal display. Been told that they're going to depart on the next pass, so we get an extra go at looking at them. So as they go off out to our left, with the 2 of them together, it's obviously not quite as manoeuvrable as either of those aircraft would be on their own. So it takes them a little while to get turned around to come back again. But I don't think we mind that, do we? No, we absolutely don't. Vulcan is so far away now, I actually can't see the Hunter. I think now he's departed. Okay. Right, well, we'll get this right one day. Vulcan is now coming back for her normal display. And although I've suggested this, if you like, I'd like to welcome you to the very last flying season of a British aeroplane that represents the very best, the most imaginative, thinking out of the box virtues of aeronautical design and engineering. She represents the very best of the great British people. And if this is your only air show of the year, then this is probably the last time you'll see this extraordinarily beautiful machine. She is the single most popular aeroplane in the country. Last year at Farnborough, they polled 16,000 odd Facebook followers, and they voted her the most popular item in the programme. They repeated the whole thing at the Bournemouth Air Show, which is a huge one, a few weeks later. So Vulcan came top on both those occasions, above something that you might have expected would come top, the team that we saw here earlier today. But the thing about this aeroplane is that she just has an extraordinary effect on people. Designed by the same man that designed the wonderful Avro Lancaster, and indeed the Avro Anson. But here she is, coming straight back towards us. And in a minute, I expect to see Bill Ramsey put the power on as he goes into a spiral climb. The famous Vulcan foul. Can't guarantee it every time. It's going across the top of a Coke bottle. Causes it. But on a rather larger scale, 2 engines on each side, and of course both engines share a single intake, which is something to do with it. She makes that noise. Now she's slowing right down and putting her undercarriage down. Obviously she's not going to land here, but you will get to see her fly by with her undercarriage down as if she were going to land here. That was 90% power on those engines. They produce 4 Rolls-Royce Bristol Olympus engines, the same engines after a fashion that Concorde used, although the Concorde ones had reheat. About 65,000 pounds of static thrust in total, so 56,000 pounds perhaps on that spiral climb. So we can now see Vulcan XH558's come by with her 18 wheels down, 16 on the main undercarriage and 2 on the nose undercarriage. And you see the little trails of unburnt fuel from the 4 Bristol Olympus engines. And you can see that very elegant colour scheme as she raises the undercarriage. She passes by. As they say in the trade, it's called a dirty fly past. Now cleaning up. Next time she comes, an interesting little illustration from the time of the Vulcan Islands. Of how agile she is. She's like a fighter, not like a big bomber. She has fighter control columns, not big yokes like bombers normally do. Now, when she went to the Falkland Islands on that bombing raid with Martin Withers, who's in the right-hand seat today, who's the chief pilot of the Vulcan to the Sky Trust, she took with her 21 1,000-pound bombs. That's an awful lot of bombs. And she dropped them on the runway at Port Stanley. They hit the runway with 2 of those bombs. And that was par for the course, because these were completely dumb World War II bombs. No guidance or anything like that. So if you wanted to hit a point target, you had to drop lots of bombs on it. They hit the runway with 2 of them, and that was good enough. Now, as she comes by this time, I expect to see the bomb bay doors open. And you will see that huge cavernous bomb bay. This is the heart of the bomber. This is what the bomber is all about. That's where those 21 1,000-pound bombs were carried. And as she goes round in a complete circle, and as she comes back, I expect to see the bomb bay doors closing again. She's coming towards the end of her display, and I can't help feeling that it's a sad occasion. She's going to do an enormous amount of displays this year. She's all over the country. They're still building the displays that she's going to do because something like 22 million or more people have seen this aeroplane fly in the 8 years that she's been flying since restoration. It's cost 22 million quid, mostly raised by people putting their hand in their pockets. You could say £1 a smile. So Phil Davis, the air electronics officer, selecting the closing of the bomb bay doors. They're shutting now. Lots of signatures of supporters in that bomb bay. expecting to see another of those big, high, tall wing-overs shortly. And when she comes to do her final pass, I hope that she'll be able to end it in a zoom climb. That isn't what she's doing at the moment, I don't think.
Roll it.
Interesting to note, people say that is more than 90 degrees of bank. But actually it's not, it's part of a kind of barrel roll, a quarter of a barrel roll. It's keeping positive G on all the time. It isn't a bank, it's a wing over. Well, that's what we're saying anyway. I was saying earlier that Roy Chadwick, who designed the Lancaster, designed this aeroplane. He first drew this in 1946, and this aeroplane flew only 11 years after the Lancaster. I think what the Lancaster looks like, a standard Second World War bomber, four propellers. This thing flew 11 years later, and it looks like it might come from a different planet. An utterly amazing man, Roy Chadwick, who died before he ever saw this aeroplane fly. He never saw it become the first operational Delta in service. Well, if that's making you sad, and it is making me sad, I want to remember what the great Dr. Seuss said, the man who wrote The Cat in the Hat and How the Grinch Stole Christmas. He said, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. Or if you can't manage that, at least a smile through the tears. And she's not on her last pass, she's coming back on one more pass now. So the climb at the end of it,